Hey folks, Joey here from Tested, taking this over with a little production video. Now, very soon I am going to be taking Adam for a little tour through our production room, our production cage, our production closet. This has been something that's been slowly evolving over the last several months. We teamed up with the company Just Right and did a few sponsored videos about the paint cabinets in Adam's shop. On the production side, we also got a battery case, a Just Right Lithium-Ion battery charger and kind of safety case in case of fire. This is a case that keeps the temperature control, keeps a fan blowing through, it closes down if it senses any huge heat bumps. It's something that is safe to have, especially for batteries as old as we have. But anyway, this prompted a whole tear down, rebuild of our production room that has been a long time coming. Now, for a long time, it's just been like Josh and I here, so having everything within arm's reach, kind of knowing the chaos has been fine. But really, I wanted to redesign this room to be something that's a little more production friendly for anybody to come in the event that I'm not around or some third party isn't here using our equipment, they can easily find something. And so that kind of was the ethos in designing the room. So what I wanted to do next was take Adam through that production space and get his take on it. Mythbusters had their own sort of production style, but I feel like there's a lot of the Venn diagram overlap on the type of gear that we use, especially since a lot of the stuff is coming from Adam and his Mythbusters days, as it's sort of incorporated with our old production gear from the Whiskey Media days. And so any advice you can give on that, any stories you can give, I think would help us frame this production space in a new way. And that was what I wanted to do. All right, Adam, I want to give you a tour of our production closet here. Now, I think the last time you've been here was pretty rough, pretty messed up.
As most of the space actually. Oh, dude.
I've been doing a lot of work.
Oh.
We got this battery cabinet here. This sort of kicked off this months long journey to get this place in a much better working order. I think I've been having a lot of thoughts as I've been doing this. And I think what was happening was I had this place designed specifically so I can find everything easily.
Right.
I wasn't really thinking about other people. And I think that's I've been thinking a lot about if I just evaporate into dust, I want someone to come in here and be like, this is where lenses are, this is where audio lives, and this is where, these are how things are organized.
All right, so the organizational strategy wasn't just your own proclivities about how a camera room should be arranged. It was about how the whole space can be useful to everyone who needs it.
Yeah, and I think also I realized that we're unique in that, and you guys probably had this at Mythbusters as well, but a production house usually has many of things, right?
Right.
Many C-stands, many light stands. We have a little bit of everything. And so how do you organize a little bit of everything to be useful for anybody to come in?
Where I expect a stand for C-stands and a stand for lighting stands, and they all take up various amounts of room.
Yeah, and before it was a C-stand over here, and then a light stand there, but also a light stand here. So I wanted to kind of separate everything. I think I've set up things and torn them down maybe 4 times in the course of this month.
I appreciate that the battery cabinet initiated the reorg. I'm sorry about the damage I did as it came in the front door.
I think it's important to have, we had batteries, we have many different batteries for many different things. And as I was going through this stuff, there was a lot of sense memory of 15 years ago, I was wrapping this cable with a colleague on the floor.
Right.
And these batteries are about 15 years old, which is some of these lithium-ion batteries don't last forever.
When this was first suggested, I thought, do we really need a cabinet for lithium-ion batteries? But what I noticed is that the airlines are getting more cautious.
Right, yeah.
But they kicked my friend off the plane because she said I left a battery in my luggage. And they were like, you're just going to have to get out and we'll hand you your luggage. And if they're getting more cautious, I feel like we should be more cautious.
Yeah, we just did some travel and I had a suitcase that they couldn't fit on top and it was just lined with batteries. And I had to tell them do you want this down there? They're like, no, we'll figure this out. I'm okay, smart.
So this thing stores all our batteries and it's fireproof, it's fire resistant.
It's off right now, but let me turn it on. It's got a fan. So basically in its on state, it has this fan constantly running to keep the temperature down. If the container registers over 135 Fahrenheit, the fan will the door will shut down the opening there.
Oh.
This color will turn black. It'll let us know an event is happening in here. So
but the goal is that it can contain
it can contain itself. Okay. Yeah, and there's it's multi-layered. There's air pockets within these layers. So it's a pretty safe little container for batteries for all of our various batteries. And we have all the AA's, all the different camera stuff. And then I have a couple chargers up here for game days, when we're actually needing to charge quickly. That way that can be something that can be done overnight. Just pack this all up with batteries, put the things on chargers and let it charge.
Phenomenal.
And there's like a power bank. There's a strip of like 7 outlets in the back there.
I also love that we've got an assembly table that is actually clear.
Yeah. So one big thing that was with our room before was we had many surfaces that would just get filled with crap.
they
And
all-
so I
yeah.
thought no more tables, just one. And this gives us room to slide in lights when we're done for the day.
Right.
We do have a few lights that always kind of stay up. And so just having that room to like put those here at the end of the day, and then also be able to walk over here and like build your camera out here and whatnot.
I feel like there's still, I mean, it's a weirdly tall room, so there's still some room on the Z-axis for more storage if we need it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously empties can go, you know, into deeper storage if need be, but like it's really, I'm really pleased with how much storage there is.
Yeah, and these racks go like right up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I try to keep everything that we don't use, like those are cases for lights that are down here that are empty. I have empty ones that we can use. Things that we don't need to grab as much, and then you have like our travel bags. Like this is like our camera table, our grip, and then lighting over here.
I'm gravitating towards the lenses.
Yeah, and this is a combination of like things that you guys use, that you use personally, use on MythBusters that we have tested. This Ingenue, I just put a request in to see if we can get it tuned up and rehoused to
It
be a little
looked, when I examined it with a flashlight, it didn't look like it had any rot in the inside.
Yeah,
or any,
I didn't see any fungus. I think the zoom gear is a little bit sticky, but they can clean that out pretty well.
I spent a lot of my TV money on fast glass. This is the 85 one. No, this is the 28-4-70. That's the 50.
And there was actually another, this case down here has a bunch more lenses. Your FS700.
Oh, yeah.
I got your 70s
my
here as
God.
well. This is like our B camera. Like both Josh and I rig out cameras differently, so I have those, you know, all those rails and handlebars here that we can grab what we need, bring to that table,
Yeah.
set up.
I keep forgetting. I mean, you guys are welcome to use them if you want. I have a pair of, Zacuto video eyepieces, and it's specifically because I want to do stereo viewing of like a costume.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten around to it. But I should bring them.
You can hold the camera and just have your face right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I do need to find a solution for the C-stands. We have 4 different brands, and so
Oh, and none of them store the same.
yeah, they all want to grab onto their own C-stand in a certain way. So I need to figure out something there.
Like a rack that they could slide.
Yeah,
into
like
here?
that can like, you know, tuck into the.
This is making me want to go back and like organizing a couple of summers ago and throwing out 7. I think I threw out 7 truckloads.
Oh, wow.
Of legacy hardware.
I did a few. Yeah, those
Yeah.
good.
And it feels like we could do another pass.
Yeah.
Because this just gets me wanting to organize everything else. This is beautiful.
Yeah, when I look from here on, I'm very pleased with just. And everything doesn't really have a permanent home yet, but at least now I can big labels. I can see everything, and now I can, even if I do tear it apart again, I'll have a better idea of how to best equip this. I cleared out much more shelving space. So if we want to do more lights here, there's just like a box of things I need to organize. This is our project table.
Does everyone in the world have a box called cables to organize?
This is an old Mole Richardson light.
Oh yeah, you want to?
I want to like gut it out and put some like a proper like a new LED light in it and like remake it. So that's one of my projects I have going on here.
I love that.
A couple of the broken lights I want to fix up, but this is just sort of the to work on.
Dude, this is super inspiring. And that's your filter rack from the ILM auction,
Yeah, this
right?
all came from 3210. We have a bunch of nets and scrims here that I want to at some point refabric. I got this whole thing set up for Apple boxes.
I have a bunch of your Apple boxes next door. They just keep on showing up.
You can never have enough. And then I set up this DIT station I want to kind of lastly talk about. This might be temporary, it might be permanent, I don't know, but it's nice to have a system that we can quickly offload footage. But then I set up all of our old capture gear from way back in the day, which will allow us to capture analog media into ProRes format, which is like a lossless format. So I can rip all of our old DV tapes that we used way back in the day.
Oh, that's awesome.
But then also I brought in.
Oh!
So I want to rip all of the special features,
Dude.
and then edit together some kind of thing that can constantly play on the TV out there.
Well, that's what. So maybe we should pull this door so we have access to the other side of the wall, because I have this unrealized plan of putting a DVD player and a DV. I have a DV cam deck.
Oh right, I think I did see that.
Yeah, and I have DV tapes to rip. And I'd love to have a legacy media front end below our TV so we could put DVDs and VHS tapes in.
Yeah, and that even could be, I mean, I could even wire that to this system,
right.
and that way we could do that. We can easily
love
digitize and rip things.
This is great.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out, because I think there's different behind the scenes materials on each of the iterations of the release.
Oh.
Right. So there's got to be a different
I think I do have the
behind the scenes
theatrical
for the
cuts.
extended editions.
Well, these are the
These are the
4
extended.
hours, but
Oh,
I do
okay.
also have the theatricals.
Yeah, I'll bet the behind the scenes are different.
Yeah, we should just take all of them. And then include ours in there that we did the behind the scenes for Weta. And
When we first went to New Zealand, Norm, Joey, and I have watched so many hundreds of hours of these, and we talked to the people in New Zealand about the pieces they did to camera, the behind the scenes. None of them have watched it. None of them remember any of the things they said on camera. It was really hilarious. They're like, I don't want to go back and remember how awful Helm's Deep was.
yeah, it's probably much different for them. For us, it's
So this allows for logging and taking the footage off of all the media that we produce.
Yeah, basically I can throw a DVD into this box right here, and there's some broadcast converters. So basically all those weird signals that were analog for years. And we did this a bunch way back in the day at Whiskey Media, of like taking all sorts of weird signals, bring them into here. That thing will allow us to digitize it.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, I'm really digging. There's a lot of days where I was like, I didn't want to come into this room. I just keep the door closed.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But now I'm like, oh, this is. It feels good. It feels productive. It feels usable.
And I don't. Maybe one stool should float around.
I think it did need something.
Doesn't need to be a back chair.
Yeah.
Dude, that makes me want to gussy up the rest of the space. It's lovely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
Absolutely.